Doing here is
Okay, Judge Keough, tell me you've got a training program going on at church today. Tell me what you got.
yeah, we've got a training program going on here. It's called Dogs Playing for Life. And we were going to go somewhere else, but the response to our request for volunteers was so big, we needed a bigger place. So here we brought everybody over here to the Woodlands Bible Church in their recreation area inside the building. And right now there is close to 50 people, some staff, mostly volunteers, who are going to be working with the shelter. And we have organized this through a group we have some new people that we have hired, and we have a new adoption coordinator. We've always done foster care, but we also have a person who does volunteer coordination. And she's done such a good job. Tegan is her name, and she's done such a good job for us. The combination of her efforts and our asking, and plus this organization, Dogs Playing for Life, we put together a playtime for dogs. Why would we do that? We get 8, 10, 12, maybe 15 dogs at one time in one of our play areas, in one of our walking areas at the kennel. And so we're training volunteers to be able to take them out and turn them loose in there. And while they're in the kennel area and they're all running together, we're seeing who can be with who in a kennel. We're seeing who needs to be socialized. We're seeing which ones are already socialized, and we can use them as examples with other dogs. It's amazing the stuff that we are learning about these animals and how they can, and how we can get them better equipped to go out with people who want to adopt a good animal. Their minds are sharper when they play like this. They sleep better. They don't fight with each other in the kennels. They bark less. It's amazing. And so it's just a great thing that we're doing here. I'm very excited about it.
What about numbers? I mean, numbers are up and down. They're still below 400 though, barely.
Yeah, we hover around 400 animals total, including cats. Our dogs are down below 400 and in the 380-ish range. But one day we may take in 25 animals, and that same day adopt out 18 animals. One day we may take in 18 and adopt out 25. My goal is to make sure that we have we have less coming in than is going out, as we try and keep those numbers below that 400 mark. And we've been very successful at doing it. Remember, back in September, we had 525 animals there at the shelter. So we're way down from where we were. So the program is working. Our managers have done a great job in hiring people. Our volunteers are responding. It's been awesome, really, what's taken place. And we're taking care of Montgomery County animals.
But we can see, even in this, just the frustration that was built by Aimee trying to get those 3 greetings. The dog came in pretty hot, and luckily no actual scuffle started from it, but if that would have gone up much longer, very easily, that could very easily become a scuffle in the yard at the moment. Brief discussion of a verse. So talking through, I'm always very upfront to state that Dogs Playing for Life is not a positive-only organization. And why?
That's good. First of all, your name, sir?
Aaron Johnson.
Aaron, tell me about this program that y'all got going here.
So we have Dogs Playing for Life out here. They're doing some training with our staff and the volunteers, really trying to reinvigorate our play groups that we're doing here at the shelter. And it's something that's really beneficial for the dogs. As you can imagine, them being in a shelter in a kennel, they can get some frustrations and they build up that energy. And this is a great outlet for them to be able to expel some of that energy and really interact with other dogs, not just dogs and people. So we get a lot of the dog walkers and interacting with the dogs with people, and we want to get that dog-on-dog interaction and keep those social skills up for them.
Prior to this, I mean, it's pretty much just one-on-one with the dogs, just a walker and the dog in a separate kennel. Now, you've got quite a few dogs in here now.
We do, and so this kind of helps be able to get them out a little bit longer as well. When it's just one-on-one with a dog and a person, they go out to the yard, walk around a little bit, maybe play a little bit, and then they'll go back in. With this, they end up getting to stay out just a little bit longer, and they get that running around and playing with other dogs action, and that really helps with their energy levels and their frustrations and things like that they can build up by being in a kennel all day. So it's a really beneficial program for any shelter, and we're just happy to really kind of reinvigorate this training and get some of the newer staff on board and familiar with what to do.
You got quite a bit. Looks like quite a few new volunteers coming in yesterday.
We did. We have quite a few new volunteers come in. We had some volunteers who hadn't been in a little while. You know, COVID kind of messed things up a little bit, and things were kind of all over the place. So we're kind of happy to kind of get those folks back and really reinvigorate the program and the volunteering and everything else.
What's it take to volunteer? I mean, what does someone need to do, or how do they?
We just come in and just have them do the orientation with us. We just kind of go over the basics of things here at the shelter and how we do, you know, dog handling and other animal handling with the animals here at the shelter, and then just getting familiar with the program, and we can get you into dog walking, get you into working in the medical area, doing the Dogs Playing for Life. There's many different opportunities, just depending on what you want to do.
And what capacity right now? How you doing on dogs? I mean, it's pretty full again.
Yeah, we unfortunately the length of stay for dogs across the country have been increased since COVID. Things have slowed down a lot as far as adoptions and things like that, kind of across the board, even for us here locally, as well as, you know, even groups up north that we used to transport to. Things are a little bit slower, especially for the medium to large dogs. So right now we're close to 400 on dogs.
What's it take someone to adopt a dog? I mean, what do they need to do to come back?
We really just coming on down. They have their ID and things like that. We try to get people to interact with the dog first, go out to the yards, their family members and stuff like that. We try to get, you know, everybody kind of involved in that decision so they make a good decision. We like to pair people with the right pet for their living situations and things like that. And once they're comfortable and stuff, I mean, they can fill out the application and get them on home with their pet.
Incoming, you see more strays, or what are you seeing there?
Both. There's mostly, you know, we're focusing on the strays and things like that. I mean, that's kind of a big priority for us, obviously. And then really we've been trying to help people, you know, with their owner surrenders. If they have to owner surrender, sometimes we can help them with their situation or pair them with the right resource that maybe can help them. That's kind of been the big focus in animal welfare across the board is trying to get them resources versus actually surrendering or turning over their pets.
Now the cats, you've got very few cats. Can you tell me about the program you've got going
I wish I could explain that one. Cats we haven't had the numbers this last year. We haven't had the numbers that we typically do. I can only really attribute it to TNR and stuff like that. I mean, we're still just freely, openly taking in cats as we normally would, but the numbers just haven't been as high as they have been in the past, which is great. I mean, if TNR and all that stuff is working, then that's awesome.
Tell me about this group here. Where did you find them, and how tell me what they do?
So, Dogs Playing for Life is an organization. They go across the country and they teach the play groups to, you know, shelter staff and volunteers all across the country. And that's their biggest focus is working on enrichment and trying to get animals out, dogs obviously particular, getting them out and really working on behavior and making that adoptability. And, you know, as they sit in kennels and not get outside and stuff like that, and get the socialization with other dogs, they can build up a lot of frustrations they can present in negative ways, you know, to an appearance to an adopter. So this really will help those frustrations and alleviate some of the issues they may have, how they present in a kennel. So it's really helpful for that.
You seeing the dogs calm down quite a bit more in the kennel, less barking and such?
Definitely. There was one actually the outreach team had in their office the other day, and was just, you know, laying around because, you know, went out to play groups and expelled some of that energy. And just like all of us, you know, I mean, I try to exercise and stuff too, and get you kind of in a good routine and get you out and exercising and keeping you healthy. And with this, you know, keeps them socializing with the other dogs, which is really important. We want them to socialize with people, but we want them to also be able to comfortably socialize with other dogs.